Okay, imagine this for a second. Your phone rings, you pick it up, and you hear the voice of someone you love. Maybe your kid, a parent, a really close friend, and they are in serious trouble. Their voice is shaking, they sound desperate. But while you're listening, this cold feeling starts to creep in. Something just feels wrong. Today, we're going to dive deep into a new kind of threat that's turning the very voices we trust against us. And yeah, that exact scenario, it's becoming frighteningly common. That little feeling of doubt you get when you hear a familiar voice in a totally unfamiliar situation, that's something we all have to start paying serious attention to. It's not just about weird emails or sketchy text messages anymore. Nope, the front line of digital scams has moved right onto your phone calls. And what we're talking about here is called a deep fake phone call. And listen, this isn't just some pre-recorded message. We're talking about a seriously sophisticated audio scam. They use artificial intelligence to analyze and then perfectly replicate a person's voice. We're talking their tone, their accent, even how their voice sounds when they're upset, all to fool you into thinking you're talking to the real person. Okay, let's get into how this actually works. Because honestly, understanding the trick is the very first step to not falling for it. This isn't some kind of sci-fi magic, it's technology that's, well, it's surprisingly easy to get a hold of. So, how in the world does a scammer get a perfect clone of a loved one's voice? It's a pretty simple three-step process, which is kind of scary. First, the scammer just needs to find any audio clip of the person's voice. This could be from a video you posted on social media, a podcast, a YouTube clip, heck, even a voicemail you left someone. Next, they feed that little clip into an AI program that just tears it apart, analyzing everything. And then, boom, the AI generates a clone that can be used to say anything, literally anything the scammer types into a computer. And here's the part that really gets me. How much audio do you think an AI needs to make a convincing fake? The answer is just 3 seconds. That's it, 3. A tiny little piece of your voice from anywhere on the internet is all it takes for them to weaponize it. It just goes to show how vulnerable our digital footprint has made us all. So, all right, these scammers have this powerful new tool. What are they actually doing with it? Let's take a look at the real-world scams they're running to play on our trust and, our emotions. This is probably the most classic one, the relative in distress scam. But now it's been supercharged by AI. By using a voice you know and trust, scammers create this incredible sense of panic and urgency. I mean, when you hear what sounds like your kid or your grandkid in trouble, your rational brain just kind of shuts off, and your instinct to help kicks right in. And that is exactly what they are banking on. Another really common angle is pretending to be someone in a position of authority, like your bank. They might clone the voice of a real bank manager or just use a generic but very professional-sounding AI voice. They make up a fake problem, like a suspicious transaction, and then they offer a really urgent solution that, surprise, surprise, needs you to give them sensitive info, like that one-time password from a text message. And this isn't just a threat to you and me, it is a massive threat to businesses. They call it CEO fraud. So an employee gets a call that sounds exactly like their boss, telling them to make some urgent, top-secret payment. That combo of authority and secrecy puts so much pressure on the employee to act fast and not ask questions, and it can cost a company thousands, sometimes even millions of dollars. Okay, I know we've just talked about the threat and it can feel a little overwhelming, but here is the good news. You are not powerless here. Not at all. Knowledge is your shield, and there are real, practical things you can do to see right through these scams. Let's break them down. All right, here are your 4 key defenses. First up, pause and verify. If you get a call that feels even a little bit off, just hang up immediately. Then call the person back on a number you already have for them. Second, listen for flaws. Even the best AI can have little tells, a slightly robotic tone, weird pauses where there shouldn't be any. Third, and this is a big one, beware of urgency. It is the scammer's #1 tool. If they are pushing you to act right now, that is a giant red flag. And finally, the most proactive thing you can do, use a code word. This brings us to what I think is the best strategy of all, the code word. It's kind of funny, right? A super simple, low-tech solution to beat a high-tech scam. Just agree on a secret word or a phrase with your family, or maybe with key people at work. If someone calls in distress and they can't give you that word, you know it's a fake. It's instant, it's foolproof, it just works. So, as we start to wrap this up, it's really important to remember something. While this technology is incredibly advanced, Our greatest defense, it isn't a piece of software. It's something that every single one of us already has.
And this is really what it all boils down to. The scammer's tool is artificial intelligence, but your tool is your very real human instinct. It's that gut feeling we talked about right at the beginning, that sense that something is just off. In this new world we're in, trusting that instinct is more important than ever. Don't let the sound of a familiar voice make you ignore your gut.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. As technology keeps blurring the lines between what's real and what's fake, our own judgment, our skepticism, and our ability to just pause and check things out, those become our most important assets. In a world full of faked reality, the choice of what to trust, well, that choice ultimately comes back to you.